Have you ever come across a piece of code that left you scratching your head? If so, you're not alone. Today, we're diving into a curious case involving curly braces in function arguments. I totally get it. Seeing something like pthread create with curly braces can be confusing, especially when it seems to work perfectly. You're not the only one who's puzzled by this. Many developers have been there. Let's look at the specific question that sparked this discussion. A user asked, what does the first argument in pthread create mean when it uses curly braces? They noticed that it seems to convert to a specific type, but they couldn't find a clear explanation. Sound familiar? Let's break it down. So what's going on with those curly braces? In C, using curly braces like this creates an unnamed array. This is a neat trick that allows you to pass an array without explicitly declaring it beforehand. Let's explore this further. And stick around. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand this concept, but also gain insights into how to use it effectively in your own code. To understand the use of curly braces in this context, the user should first recognize that they are creating an array of pthread t. This is a way to declare an array without explicitly defining its size. Next, the user should note that this syntax is a form of compound literal in C. It allows for the creation of unnamed objects, which can be useful for temporary data structures. The user should also be aware that this approach is particularly useful when passing arguments to functions that require pointers to arrays. In this case, it simplifies the code by eliminating the need for a separate variable. Finally, the user can see that this technique is not a legacy feature, but rather a modern C feature introduced in the C99 standard. It enhances code readability and maintainability. Fun fact, the use of unnamed arrays is a feature that many developers overlook, but it can really streamline your code. It's like finding a hidden shortcut in a video game. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. One user explains that the curly braces in the code represent a compound literal. This allows for the creation of an array to store the thread ID without needing an extra variable. It's important because the pthread create function does not accept null as an argument for the thread ID. That's all on that answer. Let's take a look at another one. This user explains that the curly braces create an array of pthread t. You can also pass values within those braces if you specify a length for the argument. That's it for that answer. Let's take a look at another one. This user explains that the curly braces in the function argument create an empty array initializer. They compare it to a typical array initialization, where you might define an array with specific elements. In this case, since there are no elements, it results in an empty array. Here's a pro tip. When using unnamed arrays, always ensure that the lifetime of the data you're passing is managed properly. This will help avoid any unexpected behavior in your programs. And there you have it. You now understand how curly braces can be used as arguments in functions like pthread create. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more coding tips and tricks.